Welcome class to Monday's lesson. Let's jump right into it. Next page we have, today we're working with two different topics. The first topic is going to be subtraction with multiple regrouping steps involving 3-digit numbers. The next topic is going to be 4-digit numbers. So let's just do 3 for now. This builds off of what we did last week. So let's start, bring this problem down just a little bit here. So when we subtract, I've already gotten it written out the correct way. I'm going to start in this time, and I end up with a 0. So I can't do 0 minus 8, so I'm going to have to borrow. So I'm going to borrow from this 5, so I'm going to change that to a 4. And I'm going to take this 0 and change that now to a 10. That's an ugly 10. There we go. 10 minus 8 I can do, and that gives me an answer of 2. 4 minus 9, I can't do that. So this is kind of new because we're going to have to regroup a second time. Since I can't do 4 minus 9, I'm going to end up having to borrow from 5 and change this to a 4. And this 4 here now becomes a 14. I can do 14 minus 9, I get an answer of 5. And then I can do 4 minus, and there's nothing here, so 4 minus nothing, take away nothing from 4, I end up with 4. So my first example, I get an answer of 452. And it's time for another really bad joke. Let's see. Do you remember that joke I told you about my spine? It was about, no, that was really bad. I don't even get that. All right, so why did the can crusher quit his job? Because it was so depressing. Soda can, pressing it, soda press. No? All right, next example. One more problem. I'm just going to scroll up a little bit. So I'm asked to subtract these. I'm starting off with 6 minus 9, and I can't do that. So I'm going to have to borrow from the number to the left of it. So I'm going to change this 6 to a 5. And this 6 here becomes a 16 now. So I can cross out that 6. So 16 minus 9, I get an answer of 7. 5 minus 6, I can't do that. So some people might say, oh, 5, 6, 6, 5, 1. Can't do that. If you have 5 of something, you can't take 6 away. So you have to borrow from this 7. So this 7 here will become a 6, and the 5 becomes a 15. I can do 15 minus 6 to get an answer of 9. 6 minus nothing is going to be 6. So I get an answer of 697. We'll skip the bad joke for now. I'm going to have you try this example on your own. All right, hopefully you've tried that by now. Let's go over the answer. I have 614 minus 95. I can't do 4 minus 5, so what I have to do is I have to borrow from the 1. This 1 is now going to become a 0, so I'm going to have to borrow from that again later. And the 4 is going to become a 14. 14 minus 5, I have 9. 0 minus 9, I said we can't do that. We're going to have to come back to it. So this 6, we're going to have to borrow from that. So if I borrow 1 from it, I can put that 1 up here to make this a 10, and this 6 here becomes a 5. 10 minus 9, I have an answer of 1, and 5 minus nothing is going to be 5. So I get an answer of 519. Now it's time for a bad joke. I like this one. Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels. Oh, that was pretty good. All right, on to the next type of example. Subtraction with 4-digit numbers and multiple regroupings. All right, so let's tackle this first one. This is going to be similar to what we've been doing. It's just adding in one more round of borrowing. So I'm going to switch over to a green pen. I'm going to take 5 and subtract 6. I can't do that because 6 is bigger than 5. So that means I have to borrow from this 7 and change this to a 6. And this 5 becomes a 15. Now I can do 15 minus 6, and I get an answer of 9. 6 minus 4, I can do that. Just because I had to borrow over and over again before doesn't mean I'm always going to have to borrow. 6 minus 4 I can do, so that becomes a 2. I'm going to go to the next part of the problem, 6 minus 9. That I can't do because the 9 is bigger than the 6. So I have to borrow from the digit to the left. So I'm going to borrow from this 6, and it's going to become a 5. The 6 then becomes a 16. 16 minus 9, I have an answer of 7. And 5 minus 5 is 0, so we're just going to leave that as is. We don't have to put the 0 in there. So your answer is 729. Let's go over to the next example. Again, I have another 4-digit number here. I'm going to start off with 1 minus 2, which I can't do, so I'm going to have to borrow from the 8. So the 8 becomes a 7, and the 1 is going to become an 11. 11 minus 2 I can do, and I get an answer of 9. 7 minus 0, I can do that, and the answer is going to be 7. Now I get to 92, 89, 2 minus 9, I can't do that. So I have to borrow from the 9. That becomes an 8, and the 2 is going to become a 12. 12 minus 9, I have an answer of 3. And 8 minus 8 is 0, so I don't need to write that over here. So 379 is my answer. And it's time for another bad joke. That's not really bad. All right, I'm going to try this one. What do you call a dangerous sun shower? A rain of terror. That's really not that good. But we're on to the third example now, and that means you're going to try this one on your own, and then we'll talk about our answers when you're done. So try that now. All right, now that you put your answer in, let's go over how you got that. I'm going to start off with 0 minus 9, and I can't do that, so I have to borrow from the 2 and change this to a 1. And this 0 here then becomes a 10. My pen is acting up. 10 minus 9 I can do and get an answer of 1. 1 minus 0 I can also do and I get an answer of 1. 0 minus 7, I can't do that, so I have to borrow from the 3. So that 3 becomes a 2, and this 0 here becomes a 10. 10 minus 7 I can do, I get an answer of 3. 2 minus 2, I'm going to get an answer of 0, and I don't write that down, so 311 is your answer. So that wraps it up for all the problems that I'm going to cover, all those examples. You're going to try some on your own on the attached worksheet. There is going to be a question that proves that you've watched this video in its length, and the answer for that question is going to be red. R-E-D, simple as that. So when it asks you what the passphrase was or how we're going to word it, the password, you're just going to put in red, R-E-D. It'll be something different tomorrow and on Wednesday and on Thursday. So good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.